What's up, guys, and welcome back to another Cruising with Crab. Buckle up, you are along for the ride. All right, I want to talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about. It's kind of like I've been really excited about this one. I mean, I'm always excited about all the videos that I talk about, ideas, and I was debating as I was walking to my usual spot where I am right now in the forest, where it calms my soul. But I want to talk about the meaning, why we're here, why we are here having this human experience. And there was a lot of theories, and I mean, I've where I got my knowledge from, and this starts back from 2017, which was a big date for me. It was late October, right before Halloween, and I had a spiritual awakening. This has been, I believe, this is definitely the first wave. I feel like I've had multiple spiritual awakenings, like little snippets I've gotten throughout that time. And I remember, so this was 2017 or 2026, so it's been a long time now. But I remember I hadn't read any books. I mean, I was already in the paranormal because of my sister helping her out filming. We did a lot of stuff in the States. We would drive and do a lot of road trips and things like that. But I remember this year was very symbolic in the beginning. And it was, you know, obviously I can revise it, but it had a lot of highs and lows. And I remember January, I just started meditating. I just started getting into this whole meditation thing. I, I don't even know what made me want to do it. I think it was like YouTube, right? And I kept seeing 1111. Everyone says make a wish when you see 1111, but I literally saw the this number everywhere I went. So I would be like, "Oh my god, 1111. Oh my god, 1111." It was in every direction. I would see this. And it was literally everywhere. So mosquitoes, man. Ugh, it's so hot out today, guys. I had to come out here. Um, it's just so freaking hot. So, anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so spiritual awakening. And I remember I started meditating. I remember the first time I meditated, my sister and I, and my dad was with us too. It was January. We had some places we wanted to investigate because they were haunted, and there was some stuff around or outside of Niagara Falls, like in the Buffalo area, super close to the falls itself. And then, but I remember my sister and my dad had to go somewhere, and I stayed in this room. We had a really nice room, and it was super cheap because it was January, right? Cheapest time to travel, they say. And I remember our room was like a party room. We had our view had the falls. It was what was it? I think we stayed. It was like one of the Embassy Suite hotels they have there. So I see this. I remember just, you know what? I'm gonna just look at the falls and then just kind of see what happens. And I don't know. It was like something took control of me. Like this was my higher self speaking to me. And again, I didn't even know what that was. Right. And again, this is the beginning of 2017. And then I just started, I went to this meditation. It was like a minute, and I remember just kind of, whoa, I kind of like forgot what happened, but it was like a sense of peace. And then I was like, okay, I like this. This is pretty cool. And then throughout that year, I was still helping my sister out a lot, and had a lot of little planned trips, like I said. And then I remember May came. We were in the States again. And I remember, like, again, I kept seeing 1111. We were in Philadelphia. And I actually talked about this on my sister's channel all these years ago. She had me on as a guest, and someone robbed us. Like, someone broke into our hotel room when we were investigating at a place called Eastern State Penitentiary, which was from a show that my sister and I watched growing up as kids. From Scary, I think it was Scary But True. Yeah, Scary But True in Canada, and then it's called Real Scary Stories in the States, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was different titles because Canada and the States. But anyway, we get back after our investigation at Eastern State, had a really good investigation, a lot of crazy stuff. That place is so haunted. We then And by the way, I'm going to be talking about haunted stories with you guys eventually from my paranormal things, because this does all tie in. So that'll be stuff I'll be talking about. Like I said, guys, if you're new to the channel, I talk about a lot of stuff, spiritual stuff. I talk about masculinity with men, how it's gone, and things like that. But there's a lot of cool topics we got here, and I'm the perfect guy for it. Let's continue the story with this awakening. So then all of a sudden, I get back, and then I noticed something was wrong, right? We had all this camera equipment too that we took with us, but except my one thing, I remember I buried it because we didn't have a safe in the hotel, and it was my laptop. And they stole my laptop, and I had to make a report when I got back. But I remember during that whole trip, I was so upset, like so upset. Like I've been robbed before from years ago. I remember we had maid service when I was like a little kid, because just everyone was working so much in my house, so we needed someone to clean the house. But I remember someone stole like video games from me as a kid. Trust me, like I know it doesn't sound that much, but like when you're a kid and something gets stolen from you, oh my god. So again, that'll be something maybe I'll talk about, things that have happened from back in the past, if you want to call it. But anyway, so we get back to the hotel, like I said, and notice everything's gone, and I knew it. And then I'm like, there's no way I just forgot at the hotel. But we didn't make the police report until we got back from the hotel. And so I did that. And the police department, the Philly police department, said there's nothing we can do. It's pretty much gone. And I mean, obviously it's an Apple product, so I was able to track it, but I lost all tracking of it. I even called Apple up. I was just so desperate. And again, it was in my awareness. I was so desperate. I mean, anything. I'm not saying like if something happens, you're just going to be like, oh, whatever. Like back then, if I knew what I knew now, I could have easily, something would have happened. It wouldn't have even been a miracle. It just would have been, remember guys too, like we make the miracles happen, right? It's all within us, right? And we're all like, oh, thank you, God. Thank you so much, Lord. Lord, thanks so much. It's like, no, it's you guys. Thank yourself, right? It's because it's your experience, right? It's like the worst case scenario. So I kept thinking, oh my God, it's gone, it's gone. So this was in my head like constantly. But you know, there's a great ending to this story with that laptop, which I'll get more into the end of this video. So anyway, May goes through. Remember, I ended up working like crazy that summer, working more because I wanted to buy a new laptop. I was also doing some YouTube videos. You guys probably will see some videos from like 9 years ago. There's one about like an old Fort Niagara. That was during that trip when I started meditating. That's how long ago that video is. I kept some of those videos up because I actually do like some of those videos that I used to do. I did my YouTube was more, as I started that channel back in 2015, and that was more of, I was trying to do more like a travel show at that time. But now, like with this channel, it's like anything I'm doing right now. My identity has many layers to me, right? That's what makes this channel so special and so real. Real life moments from yours truly. So as summer goes, I'm making a lot more money. I want to buy a new laptop. Everything got replaced. You got to realize too, guys, I lost a lot of personal stuff on that laptop. I lost old photos with like friends, family, grandparents. I mean, obviously I do have some, like I had some personal photos on there. I lost all of it, and like everything. I even lost my external hard drive. Pretty sure I lost my hard drive. One of them, I lost them. So luckily it had a password lock on it. So nothing, I was worried like, oh my God, right? It's like a personal identity taken from you. So anyway, we did, it's the summer, like I said, I was working like crazy. Also, I was playing video games like crazy. I remember I started playing Skyrim back in the last like 2016 of October. And I remember I kind of took a break from it. So I was playing that game like crazy. I think actually, no, I was playing Fallout 4. Yes, I was playing Fallout 4. So I remember Skyrim came out, and then I got into Fallout 4. I was playing a lot of Bethesda games at that time. Massive single player games to immerse yourself. And I remember I ended up playing some Fallout. I was so mad at it. I needed an escape. Right? I'm like, oh my God, because I had this plan to do this YouTube channel, and then all of a sudden my dreams I thought were at the end at that time. So then all of a sudden I go through. I'm playing Fallout 4. Had an amazing experience playing that game. Like I said, guys, I love video games, but my God, they're just way too addicting. That's why I don't play them by myself anymore. It's a social experience, which I've talked about in my previous videos. So then, anyway, I beat that, and then I go through Skyrim. Skyrim was a lot of fun, and I did everything of those games. By the way, like I did everything. I even made sure I looked at map quest. I did all the quests. I did. If you're a video game person, you know what I mean. Huge world to explore. Talk to all the characters. Do all the quests. That was like my ultimate fantasy escape. Getting away from all that, still working. But like I said, guys, even though I was playing video games and I had addiction, I was still coping with life. I still was trying to make money to make ends meet, all that stuff. So I wasn't like fully like I didn't let this fully take me away, but it was on my mind. Like I'd be at work interacting with customers, but I'd be thinking about, okay, I have to go to that quest. I have to go to Whiterun, which is just one of the towns in Skyrim. Okay, and then I could go to Dawnstar, which is up north. I know I got that whole map memorized. I still kind of do. Man, it's so weird saying those names. I haven't said those names in a long time. So anyway, I'm playing those, and then I remember I also just was transitioning. I didn't like the people I was with, and I mentioned some of them I'm so glad they're not in my life anymore. And again, I don't hate them at the time. I was really angry too, by the way, guys, back then. Very, very angry. I think if you heard me now on camera, I'd be like doubting all this stuff about what I'm talking about now, but I was very angry. I didn't like it. And again, I was one of those people, like if I saw two people in love with each other, I was mad. Like I was mad. Like, why isn't this me? Life's unfair, right? Again, everyone's a reflection of you. So anyway, I'm just I'm just going through all these motions. And there was also, I just didn't like the relationships I was with. I also was at a time where I'm like, I wish I had more friends and things like that. Why does no one ever invite me to things? And again, like I said, this all made sense now. Because like I said, I'm way more at peace. I understand, like, because I understand who I am now. I understand, go away, Flay. I understand who I am and what I need to do, what I need to do in this life and such. And again, that'll be something I can definitely get more into videos. But anyway, October comes, and again, by the way, I'm still seeing 1111 like crazy. 1111's around me so much. I'm like, why do I keep seeing this number? So anyway, we're in October, and I remember one night I was watching a Netflix movie, and I was just watching something. What was it? Starting Antonio Banderas from Zora, but it was like he was an old retired like ex cop, and he was working in a mall. And all these gangs took over and he's like retired and doesn't say much, and then he just kills everybody. He's like this total badass guy. Anyway, so I'm watching that, and I remember I had a really dark. I was so upset about things. I just didn't like my life. I never told my family this. I just was very. I was thinking, and I know this is horrible to say this, but thank God I don't think like this anymore. I'm so blessed. I'm actually blessed I went through this whole transition. I mean, there could have been other alternate paths, but let's just say I was in the sense of thinking of writing something down to leave, if you know what I mean. Um, yeah, so that never happened. I wouldn't be here, right? Thank God that never happened. And all of a sudden, I remember when I was watching that movie, that was on my mind. I'm like, maybe I'll do that act in a couple months. So it was the early stages. But anyway, I was saved by a collective energy, something, entity, whatever, something benevolent, something so beautiful, something like put a blanket of love around me. So the movie ends, and I'm just like, okay, well, I guess maybe I'll start thinking about that note thing, right? I see 1111, and anyways, hold on. I'm gonna have to move over here now because it's getting loud. Hold on, where's my bag? Hold on, I'm gonna turn this into my tripod thing I did before. Sorry, someone's blaring music, so I just need to go this way now. 1 second. Hold on, guys. If I have to put this in my pocket, so bear with me. That didn't take as long as last time. Oh shit. you didn't hear that, I said that didn't take as long as last time. All right, so let's get away from the music. Probably can't hear it, but it's really loud for me to hear it. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, I'm I'm basically I see 11:11 right after the movie, and I was like, oh my god, like something like almost overrided me. Something was like trying to make a transmission to me, and I feel like, oh my god, like I had like a spiritual awakening. Like I was experiencing this thing. I was like I couldn't move. I remember I turned my lights off too, and then I saw my clock, and I've seen 11:11 like a dozen times, but something was different about this time. And then, like I said, it's the complete darkness, and then I fall to my knees, not like too hard, obviously, but and I was like, I just started breaking down. I broke down crying, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. I just kept saying that, and then this is the trippy part. I mean, like I said, I've already been doing paranormal stuff. Well, I gotta put this on my arm. This is starting to hurt my hand. One sec. So I'm like, there's something in this room now or something. Like I could all of a sudden I couldn't move. Like I'm on the ground like this, and I was like, I swear couldn't even blink my eyes. But like, you know when like Neo from the Matrix is, you know when he's getting all the downloads to learn how to fight, and he's like this in the chair, and he goes, oh, and then Morpheus turns to him. He's like, I think he kind of looks at him like this, and then Neo goes, I know Kung Fu. And then Morpheus goes, show me. That didn't happen, obviously, but that's what it felt like. I got like a download of my higher self. And I just was like, that's when I heard this voice. And it was like someone was talking in this room, and it was so loud. And by the way, I'm awake, by the way. I'm awake. Also want to let everyone know, too, I was not high. I was not drinking. For this one night, it was so weird. I was not doing any of that stuff. I mean, I never really smoked weed. That was a social thing. I never got hooked to that like some people. But I didn't even have alcohol in me. I remember I was eating like I think I had some chips or something that night. Anyway, yeah. I just remember hearing something like a collective energy. What I mean by collective, it was like a bunch of voices all at once. And I heard, and I can't remember exactly word to word, but it was like, we have always been here. It's now time to live the life you were meant to live. You know, like it was something like that. And I remember I just was crying. And as that was happening, I was frozen for like about 17 seconds or so. And it was like a blanket of love. This felt like, this is the best way to explain it, guys. It's better than sex. That's how powerful this love was. I can't explain it. That it was like this, my whole body. I mean, I'm wearing my clothes, obviously. And I just felt peace. A peace that I've never felt in my life. And I just was crying. And then I had all these like, it was like a video game when you see all these quests come up on the screen. Like I didn't see words, but it felt like, I know I have to do all this. I have to live my life. And then I'm like, okay, first things first. I got to get rid of the people that don't serve my life well. Like not rid of them, like get out of my life. Like I ghosted so many people. I ghosted so many people. And I remember I was like neglecting myself from doing it because I'm like, if I do that, I'm going to have no friends. But again, I'm still my old self. I was still trying to figure out who this new self was. Like I said, this started back in 2017, October of 2017, right before Halloween. And then we're in 2026 now. And it's the last 2 years, especially, it's been crazy. But even now, it's amazing. This is the best it's ever been. And again, remember I wanted to start my YouTube channel? I wouldn't have had this amazing introduction would I've had all the videos I've been doing now. So, it worked out. what also worked out, we're at the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to have to end this. I might have to make a part 2 to this. And I get to a part where I'm thinking of, okay, I got rid of this person. I did everything very quietly too. And even people were like, what did I do? What did I do? And I just like removed them. I didn't remove everybody though. My good friend who I mentioned, and who's like my sister, who I'm very close with, he's the one guy I kept. And there's another friend of ours we had, my friend, and by the way, there's Scorpios too, which I love. There's a reason I mean, there's Scorpios. That's a huge compliment. If you're a Scorpio watching this, guys, I love Scorpios. I absolutely love Scorpios. They are so intense, but I love it because every time I'm around them, I'm learning something about myself. And if you don't realize that, thank you. Seriously. I mean, I've met some Scorpios who have really pissed me off, but I believe that a lot of it was meant to be, if you want to call it that. And I could revise it, but holy crap, like it's amazing what they have taught me. And they're like a, swear, man, like Scorpios, that's a whole other video I can make about. I love Scorpios. My God, love them. Absolutely love them. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm going to end this with the computer part. I realized that even though I lost some of those family photos, those pictures were people that I just didn't even care for. So you could call it this, but man, the universe, the plan, or whatever you want to call it, it did me a favor. I didn't have to go through my phone, my laptop, delete. It just did it all for me at once. But back in May, I got like a self-loading boost before my pre-awakening, if you want to call it, but even though I didn't know what was going on. So yeah, that was wild. And ever since then, guys, that's when I started getting into, which I'm going to lead into the next part about, I started getting into books. I became like a monk. So I'm going to leave that for the next part of this video, I think, because we're getting a bit long with this. So that's a lot that I threw at you guys, and I hope you guys are enjoying this one, because this was like the peak of how everything started. So anyway, guys, oh man, it's really hot out here. Thanks for joining me on this ride, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.